I'd like to start off by, as it says on the top sign here, 100,000 welcomes from the Jameson Irish Whiskey people at the Detroit Plaza to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Now I have to tell you something to begin with. You were supposed to have this evening a different celebrity. A fellow by the name of J.P. McCarthy. I don't know who the hell he is. But he's supposed to be around here somewhere, and he couldn't be here because he's ill, or he got his hand caught in a vending machine. I don't know what it was. So I got a call last night in Boston that if I would fill in. I happen to be a big celebrity in Boston. I'm sure many of you know me. I live beside of a man whose brother-in-law knows a man who took a flight with a guy who knows Frank Sinatra. So they asked me to come up here, being a celebrity from Boston. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce two very special celebrities sitting out there. And I'd like to have a hand for Harry Miller. Let's have a hand for Harry Miller and Bill Weaver. Thank you. Harry Miller has the biggest laundromat in Pasco, Rhode Island, and Bill Weaver has a Midas muffler shop in Hohoka. So we have a lot of celebrities here tonight that afterwards, if you want to mingle with them, I'm sure they'd be glad to talk to you. Now we have here a panel of judges tonight that we are really waiting for. I'm sure you all know them, and I would like to introduce their names first, individually. Now the first one I understand, Mr. A. Will Miller is still powdering his nose. Is A. Will here? He's powdering his nose, all right? So we have B. Jim Ferguson. Would B. Jim stand up? There he is. Stand up, Jim. And we have C. Joe Miller. That's Joe. And we have D. George Miller. George. And we have E. Wilson McDowell. Well, okay. And ladies and gentlemen, the Irish Rovers. Let's hear it for them. They're going to be our judges this evening. Now to get to the festivities, and I would like to tell you, and this is very serious, the rules of this competition that's run all over America. Only professional bartenders are eligible to come into this contest. Each bartender that's in the contest must make the Irish coffee exactly the way he or she makes it at his establishment, which means there's probably be no damn whiskey in it. I don't know. Oh, Will, there's Will. Let's have a hand for Will. Okay, Will. Now, the judges will decide on the basis of taste and appearance for these drinks. There'll be 10 points for the taste and 5 points for the appearance, for a maximum score of 15 points. The judge's decision is to be based upon their own personal preference. Now, the bartenders will be divided in 3 rounds, 2 of 6 and 1 of 5, I believe. Now, the bartender receiving the most number of points will be the winner of that round. One winner will be decided per round, okay? Now, in the event of a tie, the bartenders will remake the drinks, and the judges will decide the best of the 2 that are tied, or 3, whatever it may be. The winner of each round will then remake their drinks in the final round, and the judges will decide the best. The decision of the judges then will be final, unless, of course, he happens to be a hell of a big man, and we'll go with that. All right, Seamus. Now we'd like to... What is it, Seamus? What do you want?
Read the rules again.
All right. I'll do it in Italian. Now what I'll do now is to read out the first round of 6, okay? And would you please stand up here from Nemo Saloon, Joe Caltera. All right, Joe. Atta baby. Good luck, Joe. And Zubik of Dearborn, Ann Gullen. Where's Ann? Atta girl, Ann. Good luck, Ann. The Tipperary Pub. Grab this name now. Kathleen O'Halloran. Okay, it's the Old Shillelagh, Kevin McKinley. And Seamus, as they say in Boston, the Harbor Bar. The Harbor Bar, Don Giordano. And the final one will be from the Dublin Inn, Sean Flanagan. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there's our first six.
So when did we start making the Irish coffee? Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right.
Okay. Say no, I'm going to use my own. Oh, you want the pour? I got to use this together. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. Yes? Sure, come right here.
Do you want this?
Damn. Are you rolling right now?
Yeah.
Tommy? Get up here. I do, but...
That's some whiskey in there. Whatever you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That concludes the first round. It was great. You can hear the remarks. Thank you very much. Those, you'll take all your paraphernalia with you and leave your drink. Yeah, that's all right. For the drink, just take the other back. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave the number. John. Hey, John.
Just go on the other side. He's rolling.
Cross over here?
Go ahead. Let us get out of your way.
All right, now the second flight will be from Rembrandt's Billy Budd. Is Billy here? All right, Bill, let's go. From the Hillside, Rick Hines. The Woodbridge Tavern, Esther Mundy. The Old Village Inn, Greg Conley. The Hotel Pontchartrain, Judge, is it Fonte or Font? Okay, Georgie, come on, baby. Ye old pub, Miss Joe Catalatani, not Catalanotti. What a name for an Irish gal, I want to tell you. All right, Joe. And that's our second flight.
I did. I already said that last time. When do we start?
We start.
Start? Okay.
My bad.
Hey, John, you only want one? Yeah. Okay, got it.
What's your name? George Fonzie. Are you finished? Light it. What's new? That's just it. May I taste this? Yes, you do. They put the Irish whiskey. Sorry? I didn't put the Irish whiskey. They grabbed it too fast.
There was none in it.
Grabbed it too fast.
I love this job. It's a wonderful job. It's better than singing, isn't
You
it?
better taste it again because I didn't have any whiskey. I didn't put the Irish whiskey. You had the bottle way down there.
You like milkshakes?
You have a spoon in
Get in through the straws?
I think so, yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the final round from the Emerald Isle, Ron Landry. From Pat O'Grady's Lakeshore, Seamus Kennedy. From Jacoby's, Ed Jacoby. Jacoby's, I guess. Ed Jacoby, I'm sorry. I'm from Boston. From Dunleavy's, Jack Dunleavy. From the Irish American Club, Roxanne Hill. The Plaza Bar, Diane Stone. And from the Roman Terrace, Nancy Shearer. Tie now, believe it or not. This is the first time it happened. So we have from the Emerald Isle, Ron Landry, and Dunleavy's Jack Dunleavy. So now for the final round, and to crown the champion, we'd like to have come up once again from the Old Shillelagh, Kevin McKinley, the Old Village Inn, Greg Conley, the Emerald Isle, Ron Landry, and Dunleavy's Jack Dunleavy.
Trusty bag.
Like I said before, 5 of us had 5 different decisions, and I would personally have picked another fellow that wasn't even up here, but when it came right down to the crunch, and there was 2 of them, we picked the one that I thought. But let me just, before we tell you the one, just a few simple little things. You see, Irish coffee was designed and invented in Shannon Airport for American tourists. You have to face that, because if you walked into an Irish pub, you would never be able to ask for an Irish coffee because they threw you out. They wouldn't know what the hell you were talking about. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have coffee. And I'm talking mainly in the north of Ireland, is that right? In the south of Ireland, in Dublin, the place I got, yes, you can get Irish coffee, but you certainly wouldn't get it with all the fancy trimmings. The basic Irish coffee, where you can get it in Ireland, has got, if you want it the right stuff, it's got John Jameson's whiskey in it, and it's got a drop of coffee, and it's got some real cream from the dairy that they whip up, and they pour it down the back of a spoon, right? There's a bit of sugar in it. You pour the real cream down the spoon into a real glass, and you forget about all the green tinsel, and you forget about the Kahlua, and you forget about all the additives, because they don't have it in Ireland, and they think you were crazy anyway. So the thing you have to look at, are you judging a real kinky kind of a drink, or are you judging a real Irish coffee? Now, this is where we were arguing, because some of the boys like their Irish coffee to taste like a milkshake, and some of us like to taste the Irish John Jameson's coming through. I personally like it plain with coffee, John Jameson's, and real cream. That's all. See? So there was a few people who didn't win that made it that way, and they're right, and I am on a crusade personally to make Irish coffee out of John Jameson's coffee and real cream. Now, the 2 fellows up here that came down to the narrow end, one of the fellows added Kahlua, both of them added artificial cream, which I didn't agree with. But the final taste, I suppose the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say. So if you had to eat one of these 2 Irish coffees, I say, as well as the boys all decided, that this fella at the end, 14, is the winner. So what, if you don't agree with it, congratulations. So ladies and gentlemen, this is about the 2nd year now for the Irish Rovers combined with John Jameson. They've always treated us well, and for all of you people that are making Irish coffees, you talk about saving time and making speed and everything else. If you just stick to John Jameson's and coffee and a bit of real cream that you keep under the counter, you'll have no trouble at all. Forget all the dressings. That's all I have to say. God bless. Thank you, my children.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for a great bunch of guys, the Irish Rovers. Thank you, men, very much. And again, from John Jameson, thanks very much for being here tonight. To all of you wonderful people. God bless you.
Okay. Hope to see you next year. Congratulations, it was a good try. Go.
Whose fault was it?
Here we go.
Hang on a second. One more. The green and the drinking of the spirits.
A lot of Irish hoolaying went on at the Cafe Renaissance last night. No, it wasn't a pre-St. Patrick's Day celebration, but the next closest thing, a high-spirited, whisker-wetting Irish coffee contest. It took 20 bartenders from the Detroit area, 6 bottles of strong Irish whiskey, a gallon of coffee, and dozens of squirts of whipping cream to come up with the best Irish coffee in town. Although the Irish coffee contest is novel to the Cafe Renaissance, the expert judges say they've been sampling this stuff for years.
This is the third year we've done this, and each year there get to be more bartenders, and it takes longer for the judging to happen. So consequently...
But after so many drinks, though, don't your taste buds kind of quit on you?
Oh, no.
Are you
That's why
kidding?
they've got us as the judges.
Are you getting paid to do this?
Of course. Are you kidding? Wouldn't any
Yes,
man
we
in
are.
this
We
world
get-
do
we
this
get
job for
paid.
nothing?
So after nearly an hour of serious sipping, it came down to 2 bartenders. Then more serious sipping, then a conference, then more serious sipping. There was a lot of serious sipping going on. And then... Why do you think you won?
Because I stuck with the basics. I didn't get fancy about it. It was an Irish coffee contest, not a conglomeration of things.
The Irish Rovers say they have a personal philosophy about alcoholic beverages. I guess it was Rover Will Miller who best summed up their thoughts.
But the sinful, ginful, rum-soaked men survive for 70 years and 10, and some of them, a very few, stay pickled till they're 102. God save the Queen.
Roseanne Sarah, News 4, Detroit.
It's not the whiskey, it's the whipped cream that'll make you blow out and explode
It is
eventually.
the whiskey that is the good part.
Coming up, Michigan gets the dubious notoriety of being the most litter-strewn state in the nation.